let's welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
Blood X.
and well, let's get this show on the road. Let's see, what's our first topic here today? Oh no, it's more Last of Us crap. Ah!
I'm now adding these subjects just to annoy Xeno because his butt doesn't want to talk about them. So now I'm going to make sure that we always have the latest news.
So apparently,
Actually,
what?
Speak up, bro.
I'm the one that added this one.
Yeah, this is all Blood Axe's fault. The Last of Us Part 2's Laura Bailey is getting death threats over Abby Roll. I will say, no matter how crappy a game is or how crappy a person is, death threats are never the way to go.
No, that's foolish, man. Even though I speak of my despising Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson and stuff, man, I don't want any harm to come to them. I just want them to stop making movies in my favorite franchises. Like, that's all. I don't even want them to go out of business. You can make all the trash you want somewhere else, man. Ryan Johnson, make all your crappy mysteries and sell them to, like, lonely widows. All you want, man. Just stop doing Star Wars.
I mean,
But,
the
like,
only
threatening a voice actor who didn't write the game? Like, she didn't write this crap, dude. Like, that's Neil Druckmann. I'm not saying you should threaten Neil Druckmann. I'm just saying you're less wrong if you're threatening Neil Druckmann, at least. You're barking at the wrong tree if you're threatening Laura Bailey.
This is also one of those instances where when I first read this, I've learned how, I guess, cynical I am with life in general because of all these different complaints and how many times people have said that they have had death threats, and then you come to find out they weren't really getting death threats. Because the first thing that came to my mind is, but is she really? Now, she actually has a post of her Twitter where, yes, she is really getting death threats. Now, how serious they are, it's the internet. Look,
But here, I'm going to jump to Laura Bailey's defense. I know this is a shock, but it's because I'm going to use it to attack Troy Baker. So, Laura Bailey is new to the series. Laura Bailey didn't voice Joel, didn't voice the first character. She probably didn't even understand the significance of the events that were happening in this game because she was new to it.
Yeah, voice
so
actors.
attacking her when she not only didn't write it, but probably didn't know what was going to happen. Now, Troy Baker is an asshole because he knew what he was doing. Told people, no, guys, it'll be okay. Go play. Remember he did that thing? Go play the game. Go play the game. It'll be okay. You don't understand. He knew what he was doing. Now, don't give him death threats. I'm just saying he's an asshole. But Laura Bailey, it's silly. She just came in. She's new to the scene, man. They told her to do some voice lines. They probably only told her, this dude killed your dad. Boom. That's all they went.
Well, yeah, no. And then
that's as far as they went with the acting.
That's the thing with voice actors. Also, I mean, look how hard Sony went to try to avoid anything about this game to come out.
Yeah.
If they went that far, they probably did like a lot of movies do, or you know, with shows that are animated and so forth or filmed. They do it out of order. They just go in and they get people to record lines, and they tell them what kind of mood they should be in for the line. And they don't know how all the pieces go together.
Because I noticed that when everybody else was like going on and on about this, I don't remember Laura Bailey being one of the people that was like, it's a mother. She was just kind of like, yeah, I voiced Abby. It was fun. It's like, no. Don't death threat people. But if we were going to say who is responsible for people being cheated out of their money, having their emotions played with, it is Neil Druckmann and it's Troy Baker. Because Troy Baker knew what was happening. He knew what was happening, and he directly lied to people and said, no, it's not like that. Go play the game, knowing it was going to upset people. Now, him I'm mad at because he entreated people to buy this game knowing it was going to upset them. And to me, that makes him guilty of playing with his fans' emotions. And then Neil Druckmann, of course, is the absolute to blame because he basically outright said, I wanted to upset you. I wanted to upset you. And you know what's messed up? But this is a point. I'm sorry, we're going to get to your Blood Axe, but there is a new YouTuber. Dang it, I forgot her name. I'm going to try to find a link and pop it up later. But she's a female YouTuber who pointed out something very interesting. What he did is insensitive because you know there are people who lost their father. Some of them lost their father to violence. This scene is really effed up and is overall poor.
I don't really agree with that sentiment now. I think
well, to go for shock value on it and try to conceal something that shocking was in the game is kind of messed up. Because no, man, if you're going to go as graphic as they went, I've seen it, man. You haven't. I've watched the whole thing. And I looked at it and I thought about it. I said, man, they tried to fake that this wasn't going to happen. Remember, they did fake shots to make it look like everything was different. That's a big surprise for you to not expect.
I don't really agree with that sentiment.
It's okay to not agree with it. I'm not even saying I fully understand it because I haven't lost a parent to violence, but I could see.
My thing is you could say that about so many scenes and many games that we love, and so to say it about a game because you don't like it, that seems a little hypocritical. You know, I mean, dude, we've played games where parents have died, kids have died, animals have been killed, you know. Hell, just about any RPG we go and pick up. So,
but this is the most graphic I've seen. I don't think you can pull anything out of your hat that's going to match the length of torture and direct violence and the you're held down and forced to watch. This is one of the most violent, not counting anime and movies, but for a video game, this was about the most violent scene I've seen done.
I mean, it has warnings on it. It is rated mature for violence, and you know,
I guess it just gets me that when he said he was going for that, that just kind of throws me off because a lot of people when they do that, they don't say like I was trying to upset you, but that stance he takes just really messes with me.
I think a lot of games that's the point is to get an emotional response.
All right,
what do you think, Blood X?
Well, I mean, I think I pretty much agree with you guys that she's just doing a good job, and no one should be threatened for doing their job as long as they're within their legal rights to do said job. I mean, she's already gotten a lot of flack from the portrayal of Kate in Gears of War 4 and 5, more recently 5, because of the way the story writers wrote the story. This just goes back to a lot of things we talked about over the past year or two that, you know, a lot of these content writers and developers don't underestimate the fans' love for legacy characters. Granted, this is only the second game of a franchise, but still, you created a following based on the love of said characters, and you're going to do what to them? So, it's one of those things that the people that are writing these things really don't have a pulse on their target audience's feelings on how well invested they are into that franchise.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why I had to like I said, Zeno's not wrong. Zeno's sentiment is both correct, but neither is mine wrong because it's like, that's what's messed up about it is that it's such a diversive topic because they spent a whole game making you think of this guy as a dad figure. So it's the reverse is stronger because it's like you set up that fall. Now note, it's a game for adults, so you should be able to handle it. I agree. And I'm not saying that they're wrong for doing it. I'm saying people being upset is also justified if they felt that they were told this wasn't going to happen because you put in promotional material that he admitted by his own, when they interviewed him, he said, we doctored images to make you believe you would play as Joel and that he would be throughout the game. So they did actively try to not leave you prepared for this to shock you. Well, guess what? You succeeded. Some people you shocked too much.
I don't know, man.
That's going to happen.
Like I said, it's just one of those things that I think I don't like to see gamers looking bad and doing death threats like this.
Oh, no, not that part. No. I was just talking about the choices. Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, go and look at Game of Thrones, man. That brought out a lot of emotion to a lot of people. But you didn't see people throwing a bunch of death threats on the actor's page.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, it was pretty stupid. Actually, people lost their damn minds.
It wasn't like this, man. I don't recall like any actor getting just a ton of death threats. I may be wrong.
I've heard of actors getting yelled at in public about stuff.
Well, no, you have that.
Like you actually always, physically get like confronted by.
You always have the crazy. It's just the extent and the number. You know,
I do hate that they take what was a genuine to me criticism of the game and they're devaluing it by acting like assholes, which is dumb and takes away from the entire argument.
It's what we've talked about with a lot of different movements and opinions and different things. When you go to a certain level of crazy,
you're wrong now.
You take away from your argument.
And that's what they did. Leave Laura Bailey alone. The woman is a voice actress. I mean, geez, don't get like those weird Raylos and you can't tell reality from fiction. Like, the people that wrote and made the game are the people that messed up. And even then, it ain't life or death. You know, all they did, they cheated you out of $60, man. That ain't a time to go crazy. Just voice your opinions. You know, go review the game honestly. Don't give something 0 out of 10 if it's a 5 out of 10. Give it an honest review. Go review it, and don't buy any Naughty Dog products. That's all. That's all it is. It's simple as that. Like, be an adult about it, because this doesn't do anything for them. You're not hurting their profits. You're not doing that. Accomplishes nothing. Your death threat to Laura Bailey only allows her to seem the victim. And then Neil Druckmann jumped in and immediately tried to use it for himself. She is the victim in this case, but Neil Druckmann then went, they're death threatening me too. And don't ever give Neil Druckmann an excuse to try to get sympathy. So, no, you're ruining this.
He'll spit on your daddy.
Yeah, he'll spit on your dead dad. No. So, leave Laura alone. Leave Neil alone. Just criticize the game for what it is. And what it is a failed attempt at shock. It tried to shock too much, and it missed its audience. Bloodaxe said it better than both of us. They missed their audience no matter what it was. No matter which one of us is right, they didn't succeed. They missed their audience. They overshot. So there you go. Good job, Bloodaxe, and we lost your picture.
Yeah.
You still there, man?
I am here.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
You're still there. But no, so point Bloodaxe on that debate.
No,
You
I
actually
just checked.
rounded out
Yeah.
the best.
All right. So next topic we have is topic about Anthony Mackie, who gives his honest thoughts on Marvel's lack of diversity.
That is the actor that plays Falcon.
More stuff.
Why do we even have you here? You should just put you in the editor's chair and just sit your ass over there.
I mean, at this point with these topics, I might. I'm messing. Come on now. You know me. I'm just a big fan of talking about diversity.
This is another good one that Bloodaxe snagged for us that specifically talks about. The reason this caught our eye, if I remember, Blacks, is that we like the final comment Anthony Mackie says about it.
Yeah.
Why don't you update us on this, Bloodaxe?
Yeah, so I found this one, and this is actually just kind of supports a lot of what Q has been talking about on the show for years now. And when you first read into it, it looks like it's basically Black Man wanting to have all Black cast and Black supporting actors. But when you actually get to the end of the quote, it wraps it up to where it's where a lot of us want to be as a society, but we have a long road to go. And the exact quote is, but when you do Black Panther, you have an all-Black director, all-Black producer, all-Black costume designer, and an all-Black stunt choreographer. But I'm like, that's more racist than anything else. So his what his objective is, or what his goal is, and the second part of the quote is, so my big push with Marvel, with everybody, is that, hire the best person for the job. Black, white, male, female, transgender, Asian, alien, whatever. And I can't agree with him enough, because I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your orientation is, your political preference, or your religion. If you're the best person for the job, and you come in and you do the job, then you should be the one hired, not because of who you're related to, what color your skin is, or anything along those lines, because that's where we get quality, as opposed to trying to be diverse or woke or whatever verbiage you want to use it. Because in the end, if you don't have a good quality product, you're going to lose your audience.
Yeah, and like you said, and I joke about the topic and everything. Actually, reading the topic, I did think about it, and I was like, when he said this part with, but when you do Black Panther, I did think, I was like, yeah, it does. When you do it that way, it makes it seem like you hired a Black producer because you're doing an all-Black movie, not because he's a good producer. Whether or not he did a good job, which I think he did,
They could have done a better special effects guy.
It belittles the project a bit, because it seems like you're just doing it to push
from the Black guy too. Let's put it like I was ranting before the show, and I won't get into full rant.
You were ranting.
Now that I've thought about this, I've gotten very offended. But here's the thing: tell me what's more racist. Is it, or what's more like the right thing to do to blow Black people? to hire only black people to make a movie for black people, or to hire the best the business has to offer to make the movie for black people? I honestly, now that I've thought about it, I'm like, you know what? Y'all know that I'm the only one out of three of us that really liked Black Panther. You said it was okay. Lex, I think, said it was okay, but I loved the movie. But
I didn't say it was okay. I said it was a really good movie. I said it wasn't my favorite movie.
All right. Either way, like it ain't my favorite either. I'll admit it's not my favorite, but it is amongst one of the most important movies I saw in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
But I'm also not gonna ever be that BS who goes, it was the best. Oh hell no. It had some of the worst special effects.
As I was saying, you hold more importance to it.
I hold more importance to it.
Is.
But the special effects were crap, man, compared to other movies. And now that I think that might be because they didn't bring in the really good special effects guy from Iron Man because he was white, now I'm kind of pissed. Because I'm like, but that dude's really good. No, but we want to do a black guy. I'm like, but I want good special effects. I want the Black Panther movie to be made in the best quality it can be made. So now I'm going, that's kind of racist that you went, we're not going to send in the good guys. We're just going to hire black people. But like, yeah, we know this guy will do a better job, but plus, let's be honest, they probably cost less. You know what I'm saying? They probably, well, if they're not the best at their job, they probably cost less. So now I'm going like, did you lowball us, you sons of bitches? Like, oh no, now I'm pissed off.
That is the most racist sounding thing I've ever heard you say.
If they're not the best at their job, see, you're assuming it's because they're black. I'm assuming it's because they're not the best at the job.
I'm not saying it was racist. I was just saying it sounded.
Like if you did not hire the best person for the job, yeah, well, hell yeah, they're cheaper. If you're the fourth best special effects guy, you're not making the money of the first best special effects guy.
It was just the way you said it.
But now, well, yeah, because I think now I'm worried we got lowballed, and now I'm mad. I'm like, hey, man, whoa, did you lowball us? Like, now I'm ticked. Because, let's be honest, those rhinos look like trash, and those fight scenes where they were doing full CGI, those were not up to, like, Iron Man and Thor and Spider-Man level. They were way below that. Now, and that now ticks me off, and I'm thinking, could it have been because they did not send in the guy that was the best that they had available? I doubt
they had a different team do the CGI.
We don't know.
I seriously believe. I mean, they probably have a CGI team that they use for the movie.
You sure? Man. You don't know, man.
I don't know.
Extra check mark.
I don't know.
An extra check mark, man.
I don't recall the CGI being bad. So,
but I agree with him that the general concept is that if you're not hiring the best, then you're not doing your best job. And can you say you're really doing something for someone if you're not doing your best? Can you really say we're helping even though you send in our B or C team, not B as in color, but B as in quality, A, B, C team. You got your top tier, you're sitting in your second, third string because they happen to meet a requirement, but they may not meet especially behind like you said, behind the camera. Yeah, you want all black actors in a Black Panther because the movie's set in Wakanda.
Well, yeah, it sort of makes sense.
Yeah. And a black director, okay, he probably gets it a little more, maybe a black producer. But, like, at the point when you get into the stunt choreographer and the person that brings you your coffee, at that point, you're kind of like, dude, just get the person that knows what they're doing.
They were doing sort of trying to go with more African culture for the costumes and stuff like that. I understand.
Yeah, the costume. Yeah,
your person who knows African culture best is probably going to be your black costume.
Well, you get a guy that specializes in it, and 99% likely he's going to be black anyway.
Yeah. You know, so in some places it does make sense, but yeah, like you said, maybe they didn't get the best because they were trying to hit a certain.
Really, the stunt choreographer, I'm just like, I don't know what race even has to do with stunt man. Why don't you get the best stunt guy you got? So I agree with them that, like, that could have literally lost us some quality. If it might not have. Maybe the best guy was also, like, a black person. But if it wasn't, then you literally took away some quality in order to give a faux diversity. Because, you know, that's all you're doing is you're trying to appear more diverse and accepting. But in reality, you're taking away quality to do it. And that's not exactly always the preferential occurrence because I want this movie to be as good as it can be. If I had to choose between how many black people were behind the camera on this movie versus how successful the movie is, I'd much rather the black superhero movie be really successful and high quality. That'll make a way bigger difference because you want to know why? Because I don't care who's behind the camera. I really don't. I didn't even know that it was all black people behind the camera until now because I didn't care. I thought the movie was really good and it was something
You
we
knew.
needed.
We talked about it.
I didn't care. I didn't pay any attention. Like it didn't check a single box with me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, whatever. Like is the movie good? So he's right. Blood Axe, thanks for grabbing that article because because you made me reevaluate some things too. Like I never even at first I wasn't paying much attention, but now I kind of think that it's kind of a bad thing to do. Actually, it can actually be a negative thing if it costs you the overall quality. That's not a good thing. So there we go. That was something really interesting that I didn't really think about until now.
Random encounter time.
Go ahead, you start us off.
All right, you want me to roll it this time? All right.
Bring us that white diversity.
All right.
Will you roll something other than damn 6/9 all the time? Because the damn number doesn't tell you which one it is.
I'll use a different die because apparently that's all that die rolls.
Yeah, and that one doesn't have a dot.
That's an 8. If it's an 8,
it's focus.
There we go. All right, 8.
Wait a minute, we're in trouble now. You rolled a blue die. That's less popular than white.
Oh, well, yeah, it is.
You got it. Took him a minute to get it.
Sports. Like, name your favorite stadium rock song.
Ooh.
I mean, I only know one.
I know. Immediately I heard.
We will rock you.
I don't even know I never can tell what he was saying. In your face, got mud on your face.
What was that movie? The with the knights, and the Lancing and the.
Oh God, some kind of Sir Lancelot. Yeah, like I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, I can't believe they actually did that.
Yeah, and they had like the peasants in the stands.
And I was just like, okay, this is
a Knight's Tale.
Yeah, that's when they weren't even trying anymore. Our chat room is so quiet.
It is. It is.
So look at
it is quiet today.
But yeah. But every game I've ever gone to has had that. Everything, every simulation of a game.
Yeah, I'm literally trying to think if I've ever heard another stadium song, and I'm like, no, I don't know any others. What do you got, Blood Axe?
Well, I don't agree with the decisions he's made personally, but Rock and Roll Number 2 by Gary Glitter is kind of the second one that really comes to mind.
Okay, I like that he started. I don't really agree with the decision. We're both sitting there going like,
oh, if you don't know Gary Glitter, is not a topic for the show because we do kind of want to keep it family oriented. But you can find on the internet some of the things he's been arrested for.
Okay. Okay.
All righty.
I mean, technically, the "We Will Rock You" song is actually an anthem for a particular.
Oh yeah, but no,
the community as well.
Rock
but
Number
I don't
2,
care. It's awesome.
You'll recognize it. Believe me, you're like, what's the name of that song? Anyway, so yeah, Rock and Roll Number 2 by Gary Glitter.
All right, cool. So we got Rock and Roll Number 2 and 2 votes on "We Will Rock You" because we're either lazy or lack imagination,
and we don't really do much with sports.
I know. I need to change that topic entirely.
Another song popped into my head, but I don't think it's ever been played at a stadium. But the one that you always play, one you have as my ringtone is the "Princess of the Universe." I am.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's ever been a stadium song. I just think I love that song.
Yeah.
But if it played, everyone would start singing it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's actually now
of course it is.
I've actually tricked my wife a couple of times because I have a Queen playlist, and so she'll get out of the car to go, go in the store and get something. I'll fast forward to Princess of the Universe, and then I'll back it up a song. So when she gets in, it's already playing a song, and then when that comes on, she thinks you're calling me, and she rolls her eyes.
Like Quinn's calling, and it's like, no, that's just the song.
Nice.
Yeah, just a song.
Wait, but she rolls her eyes when I call?
You call me a lot. She's like, I'm talking to you.
You call me a lot, and I call you back.
All right, ladies. Let's talk about Birds of Prey 2 is canceled.
What Birds of Prey 2?
Canceled.
Huh? Margot Robbie got canceled? What did she say? Did she blackface?
I think it looked like that. Ah!
Don't worry. From what I hear, even though it's been canceled, you'll get another movie from that director and Margot Robbie very soon.
So any reason before we go there? I mean, was there any reason for Birds of Prey 2 to be
I
canceled?
know Warner Brothers said they no longer believe that it can make money. Yeah, they don't believe in the concept of creative.
It took them this long to figure that out.
Hey, they're one of the first movie theaters to actually finally go. I mean, with studios to go. Okay, no, this is trash. This is not going to make money. And I'm glad to see it. This is important. We need more of them to go, no, this is not going to make money. This is
But
not
everybody
gonna make any
loved
money.
it. It was a great movie. They shouldn't have been going to see those other movies. They should have been going to see this
It got
one.
beat by Sonic the Hedgehog. And I like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. But the Sonic the Hedgehog movie was for kids and a video game movie for a character who hasn't had a good video game since we were kids.
But what did Birds of Prey end on with?
It did
with their
okay when it got to
tomato
like
meter?
streaming because they knocked the price down to like $3, $6. So people were like, all right, $6. I guess I'll look at it.
I didn't look at it.
Even the critics only gave it a 78. That's bad.
Yeah, but it's
I mean, they gave 100 to like Last of Us 2.
78 to 78, man. That's pretty.
You know I don't trust these scores. That's why I'm shocked that it's so low. Like when in the actual. Plus, by the way, 78's not good. 78's okay at best.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you got to remember that people don't tend to review. Like a lot of people that like stuff don't go in. So a lot of reviews are people that felt strong enough to go rate something. I don't consider. I mean, was it a horrible movie? No, I never thought it was like. It's not Terminator: Dark Fate or like The Last Jedi or oh god, The Last Jedi. Anyway, it's not that bad. It wasn't the worst movie. It just was a failure for what they wanted. Because think about it. Do you think a movie studio would sink several million more dollars in a franchise and only got a 78? No. They want more money than that. Because the big thing is it didn't make enough money. And to sink more money into this, no. They'd probably rather reboot it and do it with someone else who knows how to make money. Like, honestly, I still think that Harley Quinn herself is a franchise that could sell. I believe that if they did a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy movie, it will make money. But it doesn't need to be this director. And honestly, I almost want to say it doesn't need to be Margot Robbie. And only because she supported this movie, which means she apparently doesn't know either. Like, she was big into this Birds of Prey. This was her brainchild as much as that director. And if your tastes are that off, you don't know. You're not in sync with the fan base.
But now.
But that's okay, because she got another franchise.
Margaret Robbie, Christina Hodson reteam for new Pirates of the Caribbean movie for Disney.
Hey, editor. No, other producer. We have a big franchise here that we need to make money on. Who should we pick to do it? Who should we pick for our franchise?
Oh, well, that one movie with the Birds of Prey, it didn't get enough views. Let's try that one.
So we want to use the
We should
person
use
who has
those
already
people.
failed to use a popular franchise to make money.
Well, yes, of course. That makes sense.
What are we basing this on, though?
I don't know anymore.
I mean, are the young girls of the world eager to be pirates? Is that a known demographic? Those Pirates fans that are all females, they're known for their love of pirates?
I mean, we did a movie about abused women. I don't know anymore. God, let's talk about pirates that are women and only women.
Because when I think pirates, I think, oh, women crew.
All right, so
Blood X looks traumatized for that.
so they do say that.
No, y'all.
What was that, Blood X?
So no, y'all are doing a bit. That's fine.
It took them a while to catch on. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
No, it did take me a while. I was listening and laughing on the inside.
So Pirates of the Caribbean.
So that's what they'll be doing at this movie. They ain't gonna be laughing out loud.
Now here's the kicker though. The Pirates of the Caribbean is one of the most lucrative, blah blah blah. But the let's see. But the Pirates are fronted by yeah. Anyway, somewhere in here it says that this is not really part of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Like, this is a standalone. It's not going to be part of the reboot because apparently they're rebooting Pirates of the Caribbean. So it's its own thing. So they don't trust it enough to put it in with the other
No.
stuff.
Well, like they just said, Rargo and her have collaborated to do this Lucky Experts pitch program where they're trying to get even more action-oriented movies written by women, which I don't know why, because there's no demand for this. I've always been amused when somebody wants to make something that there is literally no demand for.
Yeah, here it is. The new project is said to be separate from the already announced reboot of the popular franchise that has Pirate Scribe, Ted Elliott, and
but there's already
Chernobyl
talks that the
creator
reboot
Craig
is going to
Mazin.
be. There's already talks that the reboot is also going to be pretty female-centric too, because already they're not doing Johnny Depp as.
Well, if you're gonna do a reboot, you wouldn't get Johnny Depp again for a reboot.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if we're gonna have Jacqueline Sparrow.
But it's not much of a reboot if you get Johnny Depp again. You're just.
I don't know why they're rebooting it. Honestly, I think they should just continue the universe just with newer characters from the logical standpoint of it's been years. There'd be a new generation of pirates, but I guess that's too much. You know, it's always reboot, because erase the past. I don't know, but I'm curious to see. I want a trailer for this, but I don't have high expectations because they messed up Birds of Prey and they had a moneymaker there. Everybody at first was interested in the Harley Quinn movie. Like, I remember I wanted to see it. Most people have said, like, hey, man, that Harley Quinn movie might be good. They had something that had no reason to fail. People liked Suicide Squad to a certain degree, but most people's favorite part of Suicide Squad was Harley Quinn. And honestly, I told you, I don't mind Harley Quinn's new orientation. I think Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy are a cute couple. I think they should have went with that with it. But instead, they went Birds of Prey. They did a bunch of weird stuff like Black Canary has to be black because there's black in the name, which actually, you idiots, is racist. That's not inclusive. That's racist in itself. One of the oldest racist things is that every black superhero had to have a black in his name, and you dumbasses took the one character that didn't have that going on and went retro racist on it. Then they took the young character
Black
that was
Panther,
a badass,
Black Lightning,
the young character, the young girl, who's actually this real badass in the comics, super badass character, and instead made her a jewel thief. And I'm just like, why would you do that? She's supposed to be a badass. And they just went so many weird directions with this movie, and it just failed because they didn't honor the comics. They didn't really honor the female characters. They didn't do enough backstory or character building for you to be interested in any of them. And some characters who were strong, badass female characters got downgraded to sidekicks, which is a weird choice. So I don't know what the hell like they were thinking. And I'm now expecting the same thing with this Pirates movie. It's going to be nonsensical. It's not going to make a lot of sense. And it's just going to be like, yay.
You looking forward to this, Blood Axe?
No. I won't watch it. I meant to ask Mrs. Blood Axe actually thought from a female perspective, and unfortunately, I didn't care enough about the topic to actually ask her about it, but thought it was important that we actually bring it up on the show.
Yeah.
I would love to get a female opinion because I actually am a fan of the Pirates Caribbean series. I've watched the movies.
We miss you, Michelle.
Yeah, we miss you. It would be great to get your input. I think her little opinion would be like, I'm not really into the Pirates movies because, as I stated, it's an audience that is just like, I mean, it might inspire some interesting cosplay. We might get to see some cool Pirates cosplay. Our cosplayers will probably grab some of those. If the costumes are good, they'll probably grab a few. But I don't think that the movie is going to appeal.
That's the saddest thing about a lot of these productions where they've done the all-female cast and stuff like that. When we go to cons, we don't see those costumes. They don't tend to have the best production. They don't tend to have
costumes in Birds of Prey were really bad. Yeah,
and so it once again sort of like, you know, talking about the Black Panther thing earlier. It sort of seems like maybe they didn't get the best person because they wanted to do all women producers and you know, and even there, it's like, did they also have to have some other criteria involved with the choice? Because you figure there's probably some of the best costume designers are women. I mean, just out of the probability there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the problem though is that if you got the best costume, when you go to get a costume designer, you go for this extremely anti-male gaze costume designer who's more of a political presence than quality. Then what happens is you get unattractive costumes because they're trying to be unattractive to men.
You're judging people off of a statement instead of their work.
Yeah. And what happens is you end up with them going, we want to debunk them. We want to take away the male gaze. Here's the problem, though. Women like attractive clothing, too. This has been proven. Women like attractive outfits as men do because they're considered to be attractive. So the more you try to repel the male gaze, you end up with that ugly-ass outfit that Harley was wearing because you're trying to be unsexy, but then you also end up just being plain unattractive. You end up wearing something that's ugly. And that's what happened is they ended up with these ugly costumes in their grand efforts to be non-male gazy, but then it ended up just being ugly. And that's what happened. Look at those colors, dude. That outfit looks terrible. You remember this? It's like a damn weird clowns. It's terrible looking. And I'll admit it's non-male gaze, but it's also non-everyone's gaze. Everyone knows that yellows aren't even the most flattering by themselves. When you go yellow, pink, orange.
I have no opinion on outfits.
Well, I used to work for a company that sold clothing, man. I had to go through a bunch of fashion.
You did, didn't you?
I got trained in a lot of this. Blood Axe knows what I'm talking about.
I was beginning to wonder where this was coming from.
I was forced to sit into a lot of training on fashion.
I was like, man, you know way too much about color palettes. You know?
Yeah,
no, there's a reason.
Yeah, I learned a lot about that.
Yeah, no, when I worked at Saks Fifth Avenue, actually, we had, as managers, we were incentivized with bonuses based on the performance of our teams. So I had my team members research a different designer, and we would do presentations on said designer. And whoever had the best presentation every week, I bought them dinner. And it turned out that I was number one or number two of all 6 teams, literally every month, because my team was the best informed regarding the actual products they were selling. So no, we did a dive into a lot of these clothing designs and add-on purchases or accessories to items. So no, it's true. It's not that he's going off into a fashion trend. It was part of his career and my career for several years.
So. Trained in it, and when I looked at that, I said, "This is a bad design." But I know what they were doing. They were trying to repel the male gaze. But the problem is, they succeeded. And like again, it goes to that whole why were you it's like we want to repel the male gaze. We succeeded. Nobody likes our costumes. It's like
why didn't people go watch our movie?
Why is no one cosplaying? Because nobody wants to walk around a convention for 8 hours in an ugly ass outfit.
Well, okay, yeah.
No, they don't. Just walking around and everybody just like, ugh. Like nobody wants that face made at them constantly. Like, oh, that's not the best outfit.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's just the outfits. Even if that was an ugly outfit, if the movie was good, people would imitate it.
Okay, true. But also the movie wasn't good.
Because I mean, we've seen ugly costumes being worn by cosplayers because they're accurate. Because it was a good show.
Yeah, and people are like, "Oh, you look just like blah blah blah." But you don't want people going like, "You picked the worst outfit she's ever worn."
I mean, how many people do you see walking around as what's her face from Scooby Doo?
Velma.
Velma's
sexy,
man. That's not a good outfit.
It works for me.
Well, because a lot of the cosplayers we know modify the outfit to make it work.
More male gazy.
More male gazy, but. All right.
I thought Velma was nice. I always liked Velma.
Batwoman.
I like intellectual women. Daphne didn't do it for me.
Batwoman taps. I'm gonna let you say it so I don't sound racist.
Javicia Leslie.
There you go.
Not saying it made you sound racist.
I know, and having the black guy say it probably didn't help either.
Like you could have left out the or I'll sound racist. You could have said you can't pronounce any word correctly. Why'd you have to make it a race thing?
Because it was funny. Anyway, to take over title role. So here's the new actor for Batwoman.
Actress. Don't you misgender her. This is
you never know.
Nobody do this. It's really easy to just find bullcrap to complain about that's so asinine. Now I know why they're into this. You could just be like, ha, I got you. You said a thing wrong. Boom, canceled.
Yeah. I'm screwed if it comes down to me saying something wrong. Because, whoa.
Fireworks or the weather, either one.
Oh, no, the lights also flickered at the same time as well.
Oh, that was my lightning then, yeah, thunder. Well, yeah, she is, of course, a bisexual actress, a beautiful young woman, but here's the hilarity of this, is that they actually messed up because, well, like I just said, it's so easy to find something to complain about. There were people on Twitter complaining that, wait a minute, she's playing Ryan Wilder? You cast the black woman as an ex-drug dealer and drug addict and criminal? That's racist. That really happened. I'm not even joking. That actually happened.
She says she is extremely proud to be the first black actress to play the iconic role of Batwoman on television. And as a bisexual woman, she is honored to join the groundbreaking show, which has been such a trailblazer for LGBTQ plus community.
Trailblazer. What, like that trail going straight to the damn dumpster? That's a downward spiral, man. It's trailblazing, all right. Circling the toilet. But that's why I find this messed up, though. Because while I'm joking, that's why I really think these people need to kind of be a little better. Because she's up here trying to be happy about getting to be a black actress playing this role. And they're focusing on the negative and going like, well, Ryan Wilder was a drug dealer. And I'm like, well, yes, that's called character development. That's called backstory. Like, if you make it racial, it is racial, but don't let her have this. I know it sounds weird back over me, but will you let her have this? She didn't even start the show yet, and you're bitching. And you did this to Ruby Rose. You said Ruby Rose wasn't gay enough. And the only reason you're not saying it about her is because she's black and you're scared to. But you know you want to be like, well, she's not a real lesbian. She's not a gold star. I bet there's some people out there that want to say it, but they're scared because she's black. Leave these people alone and let her start the damn show. She might be good. I mean, give her a chance. Damn, I don't like the Batwoman show, but I'm willing to give her a chance. I watched the first episode of the second season, and they're already bitching.
So is that some new thing? I'm not familiar
Which new thing?
I was just reading this. And I noticed she capitalized black, and I was curious if that's is capitalization of the race. Is that just?
If it is, it's some stupid shit only the way out there. Not normal white people. We're not capitalizing the B to try to show out. Like, nah, man.
No, I was playing you with the just grabbing.
No, I just noticed that. Now you're annoying me though, because I'm looking at it going like, really? Capital B. I'm not just black. I'm capital B black.
Well, I mean, that was Ruby Rose, which you can also point out that she's so glad Batwoman will be played by an amazing.
It's not his fault. I called it Black Woman before the show started. I'll take the heat for that. I was messing with him and kept calling it. She's playing Black Woman, and that's why he's doing that. I can't throw you under the bus, man. I put that in your head.
But anyway, she's like, I'm so glad Batwoman will be played by an amazing black woman, and
And that sounds racist.
That does.
It's like, I'm so glad it's being played by a black woman. Why does that matter?
Why does it matter? Why can't she just be an amazing actress?
No, she's a black actress, not an amazing actress. She's a black actress. With a capital B, baby.
Capital B.
Ruby Rose says, I get all the checks.
All right.
Yeah. And the chicks. Ruby Rose is an attractive woman, too. I bet she picks them up, probably. They're both beautiful women. I'll give them this, man. They've been casting some attractive actresses to play Batwoman. Don't know about the talent, but they're attractive.
So,
I can say that. What? I ain't got a chance. I know that.
Are we done with this topic?
Dude, she doesn't have to be bisexual for me to not have a chance. That woman's beautiful. I don't have a chance.
Oh, random encounter. That's what's next. How about you go roll that beautiful die?
Well, you didn't give Blood Axe a chance to comment on it.
Blood Axe. How do you feel about the
casting?
That's okay. I'm the token fat guy. You're
Kratos.
No.
I did some research actually, and the CW is really all in on this. By comparison, the season 1 of Supernatural, which is one of their bigger shows, the season finale had 3.9 million viewers, while Batwoman had 0.74 million. So it's not like it's super successful, but they're all in. I was talking to you about this the other day. the time slot would be better served putting in like Buffyverse reruns with Angel and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and just put this on a streaming service. But you never know; she actually may be able to kickstart the franchise and actually do a good job. But we'll see once season 2 rolls around.
Did you say jive?
He did.
Okay, I'm trying to make you two not look like racists, and you are not working with me here at all. You are not helping.
I tried to keep a straight face.
All right, and you knew I would lose my black card if I didn't bring it up, man. I would have been kicked out of the black community if I let him get away with saying jive. I was like, well, I gotta fucking say something now because I just saw a bunch of black ears perk up. Like, what did he fucking say? Q. What? Q? Like, hey, I heard it. I heard it too. He said jive. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Random encounter.
Just shut up. Shut up. Fucking A.
8. We've already got that. That's more sports. Oh, wait. Was that 9 that was sports?
No, that was 8.
No, it was 8.
Okay.
No, you rolled 6/9 the first time. We didn't know it's 1, and you switched
Yeah,
dice.
that's right. Yeah, 8. 17.
Oh, God.
Q's reckless
Oh,
speculation.
God. All right, sit back and relax, everybody.
Now, Blood Axe, remind me what was my crazy theory I came up with, because we talked about this, and I said I had one for it.
Which one?
Dang, it was a good one, too. Was it about Kathleen Kennedy?
Oh, God.
Was it a Star Wars one? I want to say it was a Star Wars one.
I don't remember anymore.
Dang it,
No, that was Epic Rant you were talking about, not reckless speculation. That was Epic Rant, which is on the Something Horrible table.
Oh, okay, yeah. It was a good conspiracy theory. All right,
Yeah.
here's the reckless speculation. Well, we kind of talked about it. Let's use the current subject. Do we have that subject on there? Do we have the video I sent y'all? Do we have about the whole thing going on at Disney Studios?
Not on the list, no, but I can pull it up
That'd
from
be a good one to
Doom
talk
Talk if you
about,
want.
though. Being
You're talking
that
about
that's
Doomcock,
based
right?
off of Doom's.
Doomcock's video, man. Yeah, he had a
which
really
is-
good theory.
which is
Well, that's
just,
why it makes good.
insider rumors.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why it's good for reckless
Yeah,
speculation.
that's what I was saying,
Okay. We watched an awesome Doomcock video. Could see if we can pull the link and give it to him. That talks about some more of his amazingly tend to be on quite point insider rumors, and he talks about Kathleen Kennedy project to do a Knights of the Old Republic that was going to cast Brie Larson and even have Ryan Johnson, one of the people helming it. And the cool part about it is that that sounded horrible, it was followed up that rumors came down that it was shut down, that all of her projects were frozen, and now forced to require approval in order to come out. That they basically said, no, don't you put out anything for her till we look at it. And that it wasn't coming down from Bobby Chapek. Is it K-Check? How do I say it? Chapek. But it was actually coming down from the investors, the money people. So it's actually strongly believed that they may have been hit with, that she may have been stopped by the actual investors going, no, she's not sinking any more of this franchise and our money. And that really appealed to me. So my record speculation is that his rumors are accurate and that Disney is finally getting overruled by because what it is that she seems to have something on Disney and they're scared to piss her off.
The Doomcock,
that's the reckless speculation.
The Doomcock video that we're referencing is his Kennedy's plans for Knights of the Old Republic,
and we've linked it.
And yeah, it's linked if you're here on the Twitch channel here.
But basically, I now have the theory that whatever pull she had that was scaring Bob Iger and Bob Chapek, and they were scared to oppose her strongly, it is now finally fallen through because the investors have stepped in. And if the investors step in and go, no, you're losing effing money, then it doesn't matter what she's got on them. They don't care. They're going to be like, no, we're not giving her any more money. So this could be the best thing to happen, because if the investors start taking a real hand in this, then maybe this Pirates of the Caribbean will be next. This dumb idea of they go and maybe they'll look and go, wait a minute, their last movie didn't do well. Why are we giving them this big money-making franchise? Like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that investors, it's clear the heads of these companies, period, all of them, are so far up their own ass that they're not stopping people. So I'm hoping that the investors at Sony will look at Neil Druckmann and go, no, man, don't do that. I'm hoping the investors at Disney will go,
Our hopes
hell
for
no.
Sony are going down the drain. That's coming up next.
Yeah, I know. But I'm hoping that the investors will look and go, this should have made more money. Because you do know the sales drop-off is bad overseas. It's been really bad. They're now suspecting it won't outsell the first game. Now, that's bad with how much anticipation there was for this game if it doesn't outsell the first game in this market. In the quarantine market where video games are on a huge rise, that'd be really bad.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the investors will finally start throwing their weight around and going, we don't give a crap about your diversity. You're not making money. So my reckless speculation is that it's the investors that are finally stepping in and going, no more Kathleen Kennedy money sinks. She's got to show us she can make money to do this, which she can't because nothing she's done has been successful for Star Wars at all. Like, it's all been underperforming. So hopefully, Rogue Squadron. Hopefully this will be the end of her sabotage because that's all this is. This Knights of the Republic, picking Brie Larson that you know is highly unpopular, and then bringing back Rian Johnson who said he hates Star Wars and tried to make his movie turn people off. That's just you going, I'm sinking this ship. And remember, she's quoted as saying as much. Can't have it my way, I'll burn this whole thing to the ground. Well, thankfully, somebody with some money said, hold on. You're not burning this to the ground while I'm investing in it. So everybody, let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that the investors, who normally are never the heroes of a story, that is very weird. The investors, the greedy money people, are going to have to swoop in and save Star Wars.
Wow, that does not sound right at all.
I know, but it's what I have to hope for because the friggin' leaders are so busy thinking, look at me, I'm so diverse and I'm so inclusive that they're sinking the business. And I'm like, well, you're not diverse and inclusive if you kill Star Wars, because then nobody's counting on Star Wars. There is no Star Wars. And what's worse, you're getting minorities and women and gay people blamed for sinking it. That's not a positive look for us. If you go, hey, let's have a black star in this next movie, and the movie bombs, you didn't do us any favors, man. You didn't do us any favors at all. You make it look like black-led movies don't sell. That's bad. So, you know, like what we just said about Black Panther, and I'll cut it off here. Like we said about Black Panther, we want quality because you do bad for us if we do poorly. That's not a good business move or for the market. There we go. Right. Speculation over. Y'all got anything to add to my reckless speculation? Disagree? Agree?
I try not to comment on your reckless. Like I was holding back stuff all throughout it, but it's your reckless speculation. So
well, yeah, it's not fact. It is just a guesstimation.
So
well, Blood Axe, though, I did go on Star Wars, so I am curious. You're the big Star Wars fan.
Well, I think it's also quite interesting that Bob Iger is now out and Bob Chapek is now in, and now her kind of position is on the hot seat because they just redid her contract before Bob Iger left. Mm-hmm. So with an extension in place, so she may be on very, very thin ice with Bob Chapek. Now, I don't even think they've made back their investment with the first 5 films. So, yeah, the investors would be somewhat, concerned because, in all honesty, what's been driving the sales of the movies are the hardcore Star Wars fans. Well, now you're turning them off. You're not bringing in a whole lot of new fans. So where are we going to get our money back when we paid over $4 billion for this franchise? No, it makes sense, which is why I just to expand upon your reckless speculation, I think Kevin Feige is positioning himself to transition from Marvel over to Star Wars with his upcoming movie project. And if that does well, you can probably expect to see more of him and his project management skills to help tie in a lot of the films together much better than what we did with the sequel trilogy.
Well, yeah, and like I said, all we can do is hope that what's going to become a new question, a question that should always be asked, but finally will be asked, is that when a project comes up for Star Wars, people are going to go, who wants this? Why are we making this? Who wants this? That'll stop that by itself, won't it? And they just go, all right, so you're doing Knights of the Old Republic. Who's this for? Who are the Knights of the Old Republic fans? All right? And what are you doing? Okay, no, screw that. Screw everything you just said, because you just told me that these are the fans over here. And then the next thing you said is, F all those people. No, that's dumb. And that's all they got to do, because Knights of the Republic fans are us. It's the older players who played the game. It's the fans of the game who played it way back in the day, because that's an old game. It's from a while back. You're not going to see a lot of really young fans. There are some who went back and played it, but it's going to be that kind of like adult group that remembers that game and is specifically a fan of it. So with that being a big part of the fan base, first thing you start off with is, what's the actress they hate the most? Oh, Brie Larson. What's the director they hate the most? Ryan Johnson. Whoa, you've already lost me. Like, you've already, when I told Zeno, who normally doesn't care about this stuff, he immediately got quiet. And I could feel the simmering, because I know he was just like, that sounds horrible. It's the first thing he said after a long pause, was just, that sounds horrible. We know how much he doesn't give a flip normally.
So let's talk about Sony now.
Even better.
I'd make you go over this.
So Sony invests $250 million in Fortnite developer Epic Games. Now we've actually seen Epic CEO arguing with young teenagers and
what's that loser's name again?
About
CEO.
how great the PS5 is, and all over Twitter about it. And we're like, man, Epic is really just all over Sony.
I believe we referred to it as slob on the knob.
Yeah. And so this finally brings a little more light to it. Sony is in there, man. Like they're the money bags.
Tim
Papa
Sweeney.
money.
Well, you know what? I actually have to do something I really have to do. I need to apologize to Tim Sweeney. I criticized you for getting on your knees for Sony. But now, for $250 million, all right. That's an expensive blowjob, man. Like, holy crap. Like, Tim Sweeney ain't cheap. I mean, hey, man. I mean, he hit him hard. Like, and they needed this because we all know that the Epic Store is a trash fire. So, like, they probably needed this infusion. And also, I've been hearing Fortnite's kind of drying up a bit. So, they needed that money. So, hey, man, Tim Sweeney, I'll at least respect that you're willing to do anything for your company. And you said, nah, man, it's going to take $250 million to get me down there.
This makes Sony a minority stakeholder in the company. And a quote from the CEO of Sony says, Epic's powerful technology in areas such as graphics places them at the forefront of game engine development with Unreal Engine and other innovations. We will explore opportunities for further collaboration with Epic to delight and bring value to consumers and the industry at large, not only in games, but also across the rapidly evolving digital entertainment landscape. Now, we're
releasing our games on the Epic Store.
Yeah, here's the thing. A while back, they said, I remember Sony saying they were going to try to release more games of their games on PC. Damn it! I was like, man, that even makes it easier for me to buy an Xbox, because but I don't.
But you got to go through the Epic Store.
But now I know I'll have to go through the Epic Store. Now maybe Sony can come in and improve the Epic Store some, because I mean, they have a marketplace. It's not the greatest marketplace in the world. It's better than Epic's. So maybe they can help them improve that marketplace some.
I was going to say,
you know what Sony
Online is not.
You know what Sony's a store has? Reviews and comments.
Well, Epic don't want that though. Here's my biggest issue is that, well, that's only one of my issues with Epic. I will admit that the store is a big issue, the quality.
Yeah.
But that doesn't resolve my issues I have with their whole 10-cent tie-ins and stuff. But that would help and maybe make me look at the store. I give it a second look. If they really improved it, I'll give it a second friggin' look. What you got, Blood Axe? I see that look on your face.
What is wrong with you? Two trash fires don't make a Garden of Eden. I'm sorry. It's not going to work out very well.
I really want to play Miles Morales Spider-Man. I won't lie. That's it. I like Miles Morales.
My comments were completely sarcastic, by the way.
Yeah. So
I did not
anyway,
expect Sony to fix it.
Research based on this. So Sony invested $250 million. Epic has actually raised $1.58 billion in funding efforts. So 2012, Tencent bought in a 40% stake of the actual company for $330 million. So how much does Epic actually have left that they could possibly sell off of their company? They're not going to be making a whole lot of decisions. It's going to be whoever the
Epic
majority
doesn't own themselves anymore. I mean, Tencent bought 40%. It probably owns the
330
largest
million.
stake. Like, I bet you that 40% is the biggest share.
Yeah, I mean the 250 million was a minority stake, so
Minority, yes, but I'm saying that I doubt that Epic has more than 50% left. If they sold 40% for 330, they definitely had to have sold about at least 11% for 250, which means Epic is probably the smallest stakeholder in Epic right now, with the largest being Tencent, which you know how I feel about that little Chinese company. Not little at this point, big, and the way it's trying to expand into now anime. That's the new take over the world plan there. And then now with Sony having a big chunk, Epic isn't Epic anymore. Epic is now Tencent, Sony, Epic. You got to put all three of those names together for what the company is. And none of those are that respectable. The only good thing is, I know for a fact that Sony and Tencent don't get along. There's been some major conflict between Chinese and Japanese markets. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony bought in just to counter Tencent.
the thing is I mean, most of the stuff you keep hearing out of Sony is Sony America, though. Like, Sony America seems to be doing the majority of the stuff when it comes to the gaming system and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it didn't say Sony America about this stuff.
Well, no, and the CEO is Kenichiro Yoshida, so...
No, I mean, that might have even been a counter effort, like I said, to kind of counteract Tencent's dominance. You know, a little topic we didn't talk about, but we had bouncing around was that Tencent's trying to buy anime licenses now to some of the popular anime franchises to own that too. So they're expansive, man. They're going for the monopoly. And maybe Sony's trying to counter them. And that I can actually cheer for Sony. Because if I had to choose between Sony and Tencent, I choose Sony. All right? I will say that. All right, everybody? I choose Sony over Tencent. Easy.
But yeah, the article does continue to talk about what Blood Axe had brought up with 10 Cent having 40% and the 1.58 billion Epic that they had raised in funding efforts. So
a third of it was from a good chunk of it was from 10 Cent, if it's part of that 330 million. But nah, man, I tell you, it's a bad sign for Epic in general, though. I think Epic, because the problem is that while it's mostly Sony America, Sony's known for its censorship, Tencent's known for its censorship, and also disliking certain political things or other things they find to be problematic in there. Yeah. So I'm really wondering if Fortnite is about to get really reshaped. And become something different than what it is now. That'll be interesting to see what this means for Fortnite. Here's the thing.
I mean, the company is listed as being worth $17 billion. Because it says they were weeks after reporting first circulated that Epic was looking to sell off a stake in the company worth $750 million. So I mean, they're selling out to all kinds of people, man.
Yeah, but you know what this does? We've talked business before.
It's been 7 years since the 10 Cent investment, so the price has gone up, so you're not going to get the same return on investment that 10 Cent got. But you've already sold almost half your company with additional investors of about, 1.25 billion. So you're less than the majority owner now. 10 Cent's got to be the majority owner unless they've sold some of their stock as part of their cash out process.
And here's the real problem, is the whole way hostile takeovers happen is that you sell enough of your company that if somebody goes and collects the other shares, they have the majority. And then now there's enough of their stock out there that's a real threat. The good news is that seriously, dude, I've got some beef with Sony, but nowhere near the beef I have with 10 Cent, man. Mine is personal. As a company, I prefer Sony to 10 Cent, and I don't believe Sony will sell their shares to 10 Cent.
10 Cent's a pretty trash company from everything I've read about them.
Yeah. Now, the problem, though, is that Sony didn't buy that much. So if 10 Cent goes and buys the other shareholders, they still could end up owning Epic effectively, becoming the majority shareholder, even if they're not already. And, man, you know what? That could be something for us to research. If y'all are interested, because we're too lazy to do it unless you make us. If you guys are interested, just post in there that you want us to go look it up, and we'll try to find out who the majority shareholder is. I currently definitely believe it is already 10 Cent, and if not, it'll be within a year or two because they're expansive, man. Enough about the doom of the video game industry. Let's talk about the doom of the video game industry.
It
should be the tabletop game industry.
Your Gears article?
Oh, no, that's all Blood Axe. That's the Blood Axe moment. Hey, Blood Axe, tell us about Gears.
So, good news. The character that a lot of us have been wanting to see for Operation 4, which launches next Tuesday, is Dom. Dom Santiago is back. Cannot wait, except the fact that he's not going to be playable in PvE. So you can't play him in Horde, you can't play him in Escape, and that's extraordinarily disappointing. They did release a teaser on Friday that said there will be one character that will be playable in PvE, and that's a scout slash sniper hybrid character, but they wouldn't release who it is. Well, I just saw an alert that apparently it's going to be Garen Paddock, which was, if you played the campaign, he was the ally that Baird had gotten with in Basgar. So we have to wait for another 4 months to be able to play as Dom. Anyways, there's a lot of new changes coming up.
Well, as a Dom
including the fact that, yeah, you have a Dom skin you can play in PvP.
Because that's
whatever.
my terminology. I refer
I
to them as skins if they don't have actual skills in PvE play. If they're only for PvP, then it's just the skin you're wearing when you're running around, and that doesn't mean much to me. Sorry, Blood.
No,
I
it's
just had
not.
to throw that in.
That's okay. So Q should be happy the fact that all of the Horde characters can now be played in Escape except for Jack. So that means you Kate fans and you Foz fans can now have fun in Escape. But do know they're going to be shortening some of your skill time, so you can't just go balls to the wall with Foz and just kill everything on a map. Plus, also something to be made mindful of is each section, when you come to safe rooms, is an act. So Foz can't see into the second act. So wait before you pop your ultimate until you actually get to the point where you can use it fully.
But that's not the real pull of Foz, man. It's that bullet efficiency. Like that's what's going to be his main thing. He's going to come a mainstay just because of that first shot, big damage multiplier. I think that's going to make him an immediate, any map that has a sniper rifle early on. It's going to be like people are going to be running Foz. Because also, didn't you say that did you score more on headshots? Like that affects their scoring? So for the score
well,
now,
if you score wise, if you can't meet, shield them, headshot them. If you can't, yeah. So that's one of the third tier as far as points go for the high tier scores. But usually meat shielding is the number one score, or actually headshotting them while they're meat shielded is kind of the new thing to do. But we also have level 6 skills coming for all the PvE characters. There's going to be several new skills and new perks. Everyone can buy everything out of the fab, from Kate buying barriers to Lizzie buying a tri-shot or a cryo cannon. So be prepared for a lot of randoms.
Heavy weapons. The heavy weapons are going to be in there?
Yes. Tri-shot, salvos, cryo cannons, even the breaker mace will be available for purchase in the fabricator. But I think the biggest thing, and something we've been discussing a lot online, is scrap is going away and Gears coins are going to replace it as in-game currency.
You know what that means?
Loot boxes. Exactly.
Even Zeno immediately when he heard new currency was like, we all know that.
Actually, it's not loot boxes. It's a store where you can actually buy cosmetics, weapon skins, character skins, but also use the same currency to upgrade your skill sets. Yeah. Now, a lot of people have been asking the TC, what's the conversion rate? And they keep dancing around it by saying, well, you have to see in context what the price in the store is. I burnt all my scrap this morning because I fully expect to get hosed on my scrap. So I spent $14 scrap upgrading skills level 5. So that's just what I did. I'm not going to tell anybody else what to do, but I burned all my scrap this morning. Anyway, so Tuesday in the early mornings is when the gears will go offline for the patch, and then by the time we wake up, hopefully on Tuesday, we can check it out and see what new changes are in store for Gears 5.
Yes, he found the one way to get me on, because when they said they're adding another sniper, I do enjoy sniping, so I said, well, damn, I guess I'll have to come take a look and see what this new sniper is about, and also finally get to play Foz and Escape, which I have been, because that's happening Tuesday, right, or is that the next operation?
No, that's Tuesday.
Yeah, because I like Escape. I actually like Gears Escape, and one of the reasons I want to play Foz, Blood X knows the real secret reasons, because I think I can solo with him, because, I tend to dislike other people, so... The idea that I'll also be able to solo Gears Escape a lot easier because there'll be more options and characters for me to do it with is fun. There's a few people I enjoy playing with, but you know, it's they don't like Escape. The problem is just that there ain't that many Escape fans. So it's gonna be fun. Of course, this will bring some more in. That's the cool part, because some people don't like Escape because they're Cape players. You know, they play Foz. So we'll hopefully see more traffic in Escape in general. And I'll actually be able to enjoy Gears again because I'll have a bigger audience of people to play with, more characters to avoid boredom. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, well, and the fact that you can grind all your and that went back and watched the stream from Friday again this morning just to refresh myself. They're bringing Dell in with not a whole lot new. So unless you want to put on your Enforcer porting and go balls to the wall with an Enforcer, he's probably not going to be ultra valuable. But it is a way to be able to finish getting those last a couple of efficient fabrication cards you may be missing in order to get it up to level 5 or 6.
Yeah, you can farm any character in Escape, which will greatly increase the appeal of some characters because you don't have to spend hours and hoard just trying to get a handful of cards. You'll actually be able to go in, go to the clock or the surge, grab yourself 10, 20 cards an hour, easy, that or more, and actually level these characters up. But all right then. Well, that's for our Gears fan, corner there. BloodX giving us the good update, and I'm actually for the first time kind of going like, all right. Until Operation 5, when I think they're going to break everything. I've been pitching doom and gloom and saying Operation 5, they're breaking the whole thing. It's all broke.
Now for our tabletop fans.
Why is everything bad news?
Because y'all keep adding bad
Gears
news
was the
to
only
the
good
list,
news
man.
we had. Gears was the best news we had.
I mean, yeah, you know.
Well, that and Kathleen Kennedy may get shut down.
Yeah. Wizards of the Coast
That
is
was
addressing
speculation.
racist stereotypes in Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm going to clean my glasses. I don't even...
So basically, everything is racist that we've ever done. Drow are racist.
Drow are blackface.
Yeah,
Orcs are
yeah.
black people because when I look at an orc, I think my people.
Yeah. Apparently, I like that. That's the one that gets me the most.
I take a lot of umbrage with that. Yeah, the people look at orcs and go like, "Those are clearly black people." I'm gonna be like, "Man, fuck you." I've been saving it. For that. That was an FU. I've been saving it for that one. Like
that is the one that gets me the most. I'm like, how are orcs black people like that?
Because apparently they still think we're spear chuckers in the damn woods because they're tribal. They look at black people, they think oonga boonga, and that's why the fuck they think we're orcs.
This isn't World of Warcraft. There is no hammer dance, you know.
I mean, if you still think black people are associated with tribal cultures, then screw you is my immediate response to that. That you look at the orcs and go, well, they're tribal, so they must be black. They're tribal and they're violent, must be black. And then they try to claim that Wizard of the Coast is the one that's prejudiced, and I'm like, I think you looking at them and not realizing, like, look at me, I'm wearing shoes. Nah, man, I'm fucking civilized. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? And then looking at Drow and going their blackface because they're pitch black, and I'm like,
this all came out last month with their diversity blog statement, and on top of this, we heard recently that they are also going around to their older products and adding they're adding warnings that there's insensitivity and
this module has
older
material. In this module, there are people who have dark skin that are bad, and that's racist because we can't be bad either, I guess.
Yeah, in a statement, they were like, a disclaimer has been added to several legacy titles on our partner distribution sites. We'd like to talk about why we've added this disclaimer, what it means, and other steps that are being taken to address a legacy of ethnic, racial, and gender prejudice in some old products. This is an early step and not done in a vacuum. It's not enough to evaluate ourselves. As outlined in our original diversity statement, which we were just talking about, we're undergoing the process of reviewing our content and practices and hiring external consultants to review them with us. These processes take time to implement, and we'll continue to provide future updates. Fortunately, our disclaimer was added before we were ready to fully, or unfortunately, I guess. Yeah, unfortunately, our disclaimer was added before we were ready to fully communicate the steps we are taking. We apologize for failing to handle this situation with the care and grace it deserves. So they failed to handle the care and grace with care and grace.
So basically,
the
fantasy world that we used to play for escapism, that you would go down and you get to go to this fantasy world, we now have to deal with real world nonsensical politics in it, because you're not allowed to enjoy anything. In a world where literally other races is an accurate term because there different races exist, and you can play as any of them, they're still not worried about this crap here. So you know what I say to that? We're going to be playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition soon, and that's looking really good, isn't it, man?
It
you know,
is.
that Friday game, we're getting together, Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I need to get me a Paizo. Send me a shirt. I need me a hat and a shirt from Paizo. I'm going to rep Paizo till I die, because this is the dumbest crap I've ever heard. Worse than going retroactive.
Well, my favorite comment to you was based off the, lastly, we want to make it clear that we condemn the harassment and bullying of those raising their concerns about our content, past or present. It's like, oh, we condemn the people who are harassing or bullying the harassers and bulliers of our content. So it's like, oh, so it's okay to yell at people and tell people that they're racist and all that, but you can't tell people no.
I look forward to you going out of business, Wizards of the Coast, because you're doing the same thing. You're saying, hey, all you people who enjoyed our content and have been fans for years, you go to hell. These 3 or 4 new people that are playing our game, we're going to do everything to please them. And it's like, okay, you do understand that you're not even the best tabletop game right now.
Well, I mean,
like,
it's also
I consider Pathfinder better already, but I had a loyalty because I grew up on D&D. We had history. But now you're going back and you're screwing the history. You're literally what did it say there? They're going back and they're literally. I mean, the
other thing is they end the conversation. Like, there is no conversation here. I mean, if you look at it, it also goes those. No,
it's one side.
It's like D&D wants to be an open, welcoming, and inclusive space. Those who do not reflect those values are not welcome in our community. Simply put, we messed up and we're sorry.
There you go.
So it's just like, oh yeah, we're sorry, we messed up for these people, but you people, we don't want to hear from you. You're out. You're gone.
Yeah, no. We want to be an open, accepting community, except for you.
Yeah.
You don't like what we're doing? Get out. And it's like,
you're not welcome.
That's not open. It's amazing when you see these weird statements. Everybody, we want to be open and accepting. Get the fuck out. You're just like, what? Huh? What? Wait a minute. Your terms are weird. So because I don't think anything's wrong with the orcs and drow, and I think that turning Corlin, Latlor, and the Elven God into some weird, like, gender swapping every morning incarnation after years of that not being the case is weird. I'm the bad guy, and I don't get to be a part of community. Me, who's owned more D&D books than most of the comic book shops in our area, who has a massive collection of books still, who spent much money on your products, has been proponent, has brought so many players into D&D, went to them, taught them how to play your game, showed them where to go buy your books. I have brought so many people into tabletop gaming, but now, because some weirdo friggin' showed up and went, I think the orcs are black, and it was just bullshit, and also was offensive to me as a black person, that you look at the goddamn crazed, bloodthirsty tribal orcs and go, yeah, that's black people. Fuck, you think that's me, but you're not worried about my opinion as a black person. If somebody just went full racist on me, I'm the bad guy. When somebody looked at a savage, violent, psychopathic race and said, that's black people. What the hell is where are you coming from with this? It's not racist that you made the orcs evil. It's racist that they look at the orcs and see black people. And then you look at a black-skinned drow and you think, he's got pitch black skin. That's black people, because apparently we're just a damn color, and we don't have a culture and a people and a society. We're just defined by the color of our skin to these people.
So
That's insult. No, this is real. That's insulting. We are more than just a skin color, and we're not a bunch of goddamn tribal psychopaths out in the woods with spears, boiling white people in a big old cauldron going ooga boonga with a bone in our nose. So why the fuck are you even associating that with us? That's racist. It offends me. It offends me personally. I'm sorry. Let me calm down. But it offends me that these people are making this association, and then you're siding with them because you're basically saying, yeah, you know what? The orcs are black people. Well, I'm done. I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm done.
You want to go to Froyo after this? I think it may help you, man.
I mean, seriously, man, this hurts my damn feelings. It really does. It's offensive. This is offensive that you're even acknowledging these claims, because then you're saying that they're right. You're saying that the orcs are black people. That's what you're doing.
How's it going, Blood Axe? How you feeling over there, man?
I don't know. Apparently, I feel like I'm racist too, because I always did homegrown campaigns, and I had a whole halfling region that was anti-magic, and it went on like purging expeditions. So apparently, I'm racist for considering short people to be anti-magic. So anyway,
well, I mean that's the thing, dude. With D&D, I mean there was racism in D&D. It was between the elves and the dwarves, and
the actual trait called racial hatred.
Yeah, there's this actual trait, racial hatred. I mean, it was. The thing was, and this was something why I always liked the concept of there being, hate between certain races, because I mean we even had role playing sessions that were based off of it. Like, oh yeah, this elf necessarily may be ostracized by a lot of the other elves because he has a dwarf friend, and when you go to certain areas you're treated differently. And, I mean, it brought reality to the world. I mean, yeah, racism sucks. It's horrible and all that. But it is part of reality, too. And when you take elements out and you're trying to be all sugar-coated in your game, you lose a lot of the value of the game. Like, there are people who use games like D&D to teach their kids about some of the worst and best things in the world, because it has those opportunities.
Well, I mean, look at Drizzt Do'Urden. The entire point of Drizzt's story is that he is from a race that has a negative stigma, but he is a good person. And his struggle to find acceptance is a poignant story that I did understand as a black person, not because I thought drow were black, but because I understood the concept of, because the things about the drow are true. They are evil. He is the exception. And it was unique to watch him battle with tolerance and patience and acceptance and an almost zen mentality through the struggles he went through. And now this story has been devalued by them going back and going, oh, this is offensive, and they want to erase it. It's like somebody wanting to ignore the past instead of embrace it and accept these concepts. These are good concepts. And you want to know what's funny? Most of the Drizzt Do'Urden fans I know, the biggest Drizzt Do'Urden fan I know? Blood Axe. Most of the people I know that are big Drizzt fans, actually white people. Most of them enjoyed his story. And his story is the story of somebody suffering under great racial prejudice. It was an interesting character, very popular.
I like the dwarf.
The value. Oh, yeah. Brunar Battlehammer is awesome. And Brunar, who has human children he's adopted. Yes. And there aren't dwarves. And people get looking at him weird, but he's like, I don't care. These are my kids. I don't care what you feel about them. There's good stories here, but they devalue when you just go, drow are racist. It's like, say because they're black skinned. There's so much more to them. This even racist towards them because there's more to orcs. There's more to drow than the surface level look. But racists don't see beneath the surface. That's why they have these opinions, because they're racist.
You had that friendship between Brunar and Drizzt, which was so far,
Dude, his whole clan came out to defend a drow. Like, they went to war and fought and died to defend their friend against the stigma that was put against him. The number of times people came in and said, yeah, let's make an alliance. We're going to do this. Oh, wait, there's a drow there. Kill him. And he's like, and Junior's like, get the hell out of my house. You don't talk to my friend like that. Yeah, guess what? If you actually look deeper, which is the lesson you really need to learn, look beneath the skin and you'll see more. That's the point. There's an entire book about Obold Mini Arrows, my favorite orc character, where he's trying to pull the orcs out of their racial stereotype, and he's trying to make an actual community for them where they're not always just killing each other and seen as savage monsters. Yeah, you don't know about that because you didn't read it, because you're not a fan and I am, and I read the damn books. So you don't know anything about my world. You get the fuck out. I'm the fan. I'm the one that knows the material. I'm the one that looks beneath the damn surface. So telling me I'm not welcome because I don't like these people making blatantly offensive statements about stuff they don't know about, which is literally what you should be focusing on, then screw you. And guess what? I'm going to be reading that Galarian's World book and learning about Pathfinder, because screw them. Because you know what? If you want to side with the real racists, the people that just look skin deep, the people that just look at something and make an opinion, then you do that, Wizards of the Coast. I now brand you as a racist organization because you've decided to not look any deeper than the surface and pay attention to what they're doing to these materials. You're not actually going to defend your writers and your history and your employees who wrote all of this. You're throwing them all under the bus. Because what happens when they label a product? People are going to go like, well, that must mean Ryan Cook is a racist, or Monty Cook. It's been a while since I've been up on the name. You know, oh, Margaret Weiss, but it must be racist. Because that's what's going to happen.
Salvatore.
They're going to start canceling them, aren't they? Huh?
R.A. Salvatore.
Yeah,
R.A. Salvatore. Because R.A. Salvatore wrote the Drizzard books, right?
Yeah.
So now you're going to cancel them next?
He wrote some of the, he is the writer of, in my opinion, the best.
Oh, heck yeah.
Of Forgotten Realms.
He wrote all those Drizzard books, so he must be a
Cleric
racist.
and Cat,
I mean,
Yeah. Like, I've pretty much read everything I can get my hand on by him for Forgotten Realms. Like, he does a really good job. And I mean, like we were talking, you know, he's made these complex stories using this system. The system, and that's the thing. The system's just a system. If something's going to be racist, it's going to be these stories. But they haven't been. They've been beautifully written. Mm-hmm. They've showed contrast. They've showed, you know, struggle. They've showed, you know, people define their, you know, the roles. I mean, dude, Silence of Loth, man, the series where they have the drow that are actually still evil, but you see like several moments in there with the wizard main character where you can tell he's kind of like, I really wish we weren't like this. You know, you see that resistance to some of those negative traits. Is like, this is what I got to do to survive, but I really wish this isn't what I had to do to survive. Depth. But they don't see this depth. They just see skin deep. They just look at the drow and say, hey, look how black their skin is. That must be racist. These orcs, oh, those are black people. After all, they're tribal. They're tribal, so they're black people. And then Wizards of the Coast is like, because
you're right.
Because black people are the only ones who've ever been tribal.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, only us black people are violent tribes of people. Yeah, nobody else. And we've never been civilized. You know, I mean, and that's why I look at this and I go, don't lend credence to this argument. You're literally saying, yeah, you're right. We were racist when we made orcs like that. You're saying they're right. You're saying we were writing black. Yes, we were doing black people when we did orcs. And we were doing black people now. That's what Wizard of the Coast just said. They literally apologized for doing nothing wrong. Yeah,
Gary Gygax is probably rolling in his grave, man.
I'm hoping Gary Gygax is playing Pathfinder in heaven. That's what I'm hoping. Gary Gygax is rolling up his peso character right now. Like, all right, so I'm a member of the Pathfinder Society. You know, so no, Gary Gygax is playing Pathfinder. That is what he is doing in heaven. You know what? He inspired that. I now believe he whispered in the ear, make it Pathfinder. Why? They're fucking up. You remember 4th Ed.
Oh, don't. All right.
That bothers you more? This bothers me more because this is ruining the whole history.
But yeah, I think we need to end it. You got any final comments, Blood Axe?
Well, I mean, to echo Q's point, the whole purpose of playing tabletop is to escape, to be something different, something that either you find interesting, or something that's not in the toxic environment that we are now. And now you're bringing that toxicity into our video games, into our tabletop stories. And, it's like the only escape in the future is going to be basically to become a recluse and just do your own things at your house by yourself. Because it's getting to the point to where now even sports is now getting more into it. And I just don't know what else to do anymore, because I want to get rid of the politics just for one section of my life. Please, love of God, let me just enjoy something without someone have to intervene their views, their politics. Let me play with my friends and have fun.
Yes.
Just
is there a place I can go where I don't have to deal with the black stereotypes verbally? Is there a place I can go? Can I play a game? Can I pick up a sword and run around and just be a hero? But no, apparently I'm only allowed to play orcs now, because that's next. You know the rule. Oh, no, man. You can't play elf. You got to play a drow or an orc. If you're otherwise, I'm white facing or red facing or green facing. I don't fucking know. I mean, how long before it comes to the point to where you're not allowed to play certain things because you're not that thing? And I guess that means nobody. I guess you got to actually be a dwarf to play a dwarf. You know, say like, how long will it be? This is their stupid mentality, because they're doing it in movies. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. They're doing it in movies. God damn it. They're doing it in the movies. How long before in the games you're not allowed to play certain stuff? White people can't play non-certain races. Black people have to play these races.
I mean, like, white people can't voice black characters.
White people can't voice green or red characters, apparently. You can't.
Or biracial
you
characters.
can't cosplay a Starfire unless you're doing the black Starfire, even though she's damn orange. It ain't even correct. That's a case of I'm going like, but she's orange. We don't have orange people, so what are you doing? Well, she's black, is okay, but she's not black. And orange looks terrible on black skin. You know how bad it looks when you try to put orange coloring on black skin? It doesn't work well. I mean, it's just realistic. It doesn't do well.
There's actually some good...
you got to go really thick with the coloring, to cover the natural coloring, so it ends up looking fake, because you end up with so many layers of thick coloring, because you have to go further to cover up the darker tones.
I've seen some of the latex paints actually work pretty well.
Latex might be able to do a pretty good job.
From what I understand, though, it gets
but
really
when you try
hot.
to lighten the color, you have to go thicker with the makeup. That's just a reality. It's like when you try to lighten someone's coloration, you have to go with thicker paint, unless you, of course, use a latex, which covers everything. But then that's uncomfortable. It's thick as hell paint.
I hear it gets really hot, but
yeah.
All right, so thanks for
what we know about cosplay. We're not making. Yeah, we pay attention to those panels. See, just cosplay friends out there. Look, we were paying attention. We were paying attention in the panels. We know.
1 second before you wrap up. So we did a live stream session on Friday with our buddies Lunchbox, Lopez, Zen Master, Q, and I want to give a shout out to them. Thank you very much for joining our live stream session. You can join Dicejunkies on our Xbox Club for other gaming opportunities with Q and Blood Axe. But you can also follow us on Twitter, which will put announcements out there as well, allow you to vote on what games we're going to play, and also some updates as far as the times, as far as when we're going to be doing it. And we're going to try to do some more live streams here in the near future as well.
Yeah, I'm going to put Blood Axe on the spot. He's in talks about doing some Tuesday live streams where they grab the new map challenges that you need to master, and they do them live. So you can watch them screw it up and figure out how to do it yourself by learning from their mistakes.
And if you missed the live streams of the games, you can always check those out. They stay on the channel for, I think, about 2 months. So they're there to catch if you want to catch them after the fact. So
I don't know if we actually know how to record any of those. I don't know. Are they there?
Yeah, they're there.
They really are?
I mean, if you stream, they're recording on
there. Good, because we don't know what the heck we're doing. You're the editor. Me and Blood Axe are just talking into the void, man. That's all we're doing. We're playing.
Yeah, all that extra talk we do sometimes that the YouTube channel misses out on, before we start.
Oh yeah.
That stays on Twitch for about 60 days
before the show.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, okay. That's good to know. I ain't gonna stop. All right, this show has ran way too long, man.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
tired of talking.
Be sure to check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, podcast, all that good stuff. You can go to Dicejunkies.com where links to everywhere we are online can be found. And be sure to go over to YouTube for us. If you're watching this on Twitch or you listen to the podcast, if you can, go over to YouTube for us. Hit that like and subscribe. We're really close to the 1,000 mark. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, start making us like $5-10.
Blood Axe is signaling. I got nine to go to get to 1,000. So I know all of us are looking forward to that. But thanks for listening, guys. We hope you enjoyed. I mean, if you're listening to this, you must have enjoyed because you're still here.
I don't know, man. I that rant probably busted some eardrums, man. I lost my shit. I ain't gonna lie, but I got pissed, man. Yeah. I mean, it just was a buildup of like all this crap I got to deal with, a racial tension, and then Wizard of the Coast is effing with me, man. It's like what 50 Cent did to Will Smith.
Oh God! Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a wonderful day.
Can't you see I'm hurting, Wizard?